Hey guys, per usual, everything on this channel is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and it's not intended as financial advice. So we hit 1,000 subs on between the last video and now, so that's awesome. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing, donating. This channel will never have ads, so don't worry about that. Donations are always appreciated. Alright, this week, Ambroid is the featured trader. We're going to take a look at his bags. What is he holding? Currently only has 300 followers. Let's bump that up a little bit. I think his bags overall very good. One or two of them are questionable based on my analysis, depending on how long you want to hold it, obviously, but most of his bags are quite good, I think. So let's get started. Gridcoin Research, GRC. Never heard of it. Sounds cool. Basically, it's at historic lows or near historic lows right now. Looking to reverse on the weekly. If you get stuff on the weekly that's looking to reverse, that doesn't always mean it's going to happen quickly, hopefully for obvious reasons. If you look for signals on higher time frames, you can expect them to sort of move slower, I think. His targets are fine. Basically, resistance here and then 50% fib, this move here. Cloud likes these resistance lines here based on the daily. So you can see, based on the daily cloud, we're starting to get a push into the cloud, which would be an edge-to-edge trade. And I'll talk about that more for FLDC, which looks really good. But you want the TK cross. So that's the first sign. The bullish TK cross below the cloud is the first sign that a bear market's ending and a bull market has the opportunity to begin. Not that it will be a guarantee, but statistically, just based on the cloud, that it has the opportunity. So your first target would be the other edge of this cloud, which is the 50% fib of this previous move. And then your next target is the 50% fib of this other move. So his targets are both conservative and a little higher than initial targets for the cloud, which is fine. I like 50 as a target here, 50K, whatever it is. Gridcoin. VIA. VIA actually looks pretty good. Now what I had to do with some of these is change cloud to singled cloud. So I use doubled cloud, which is looking at the current time frames times 2. Cloud. So if I'm on weekly, I'm looking at the 2-week cloud. If I bump it down to single, I'm on the weekly candles looking at the weekly cloud, which is what this is here. His targets are 8 and 18. You can see based on entry signals, it looks sort of okay. Definitely starting to get there as far as TK cross is concerned. I think it's got a little more time. So it's on the weekly. I don't know if it's worth a hold. Based on Romano and those shenanigans on Twitter, it's probably worth holding for an indefinite time period anyway. Cloud likes this level up here, along with any of these cliffs are 50% fibs at some point in time. FLDC, the champion of these bags right here. Let me tell you, my friends, I had to go buy some. I just had to, because I really like the way this cloud is set up. So this is singled. I'll show you doubled too. I really like the way this is set up so far. When you get a Kumo breakout, not all Kumo breakouts are created equally, okay? When you get a Kumo breakout like this, when cloud is completely flat, that's exactly what you want. You want everything to be zeroed out. You want everything to be basically bottomed, which is what the cloud is telling you. If you look at VIA, you can see we had an attempt at a Kumo breakout, and it just completely dumped right at the cloud, okay? You see that a lot with attempts to at the Kumo breakout. But when you get the Kumo breakout like this, with the cloud looking like this, I really like it. So cloud isn't bullish yet, but it will be in a couple days if price even stays sideways here. So that would be the last signal to turn green if you're, ambivalent or on the fence as far as going long. His target is fine. It's basically the bodies of these candles here. The cloud target is the 50% fib of this move. So that's singled. On doubled, the reason I like it so much is because you can see here I'm looking at the edge-to-edge trade, okay? Now the reason I'd switch between the two, I don't really have a good reason. I just like doubled cloud better. I just like the signals. So let me explain the edge-to-edge thing. Basically, anytime you see a large cloud like this and you get a candle close in the cloud, you can expect with some degree of probability a touch of the other edge of the cloud. What you're seeing here is price bottoming out, price testing resistance over and over and over and over again, and then boom, yesterday was the first day it actually closed in the cloud. So that says resistance is weakening. And today's the second day it's closing the cloud. So your stop could be either at the Kijun, which is this flat red line, or below the local low for the time period. So that's why I like FLDC a lot, definitely. I'm not pumping it just because I bought some, but I bought some because it looked good. So, buy at your own risk, I guess. Ruby, I think this is one of the weaker bags overall. His target was basically another all-time high. resistance looks to be about this zone here, just based on wicks and candles. One thing you might see is the Kumo breakout through the Kumo twist. So I've explained this a few times, but Kumo twist is essentially an area where there's zero resistance or support, and if there's momentum to pass through that area, it will happen sometimes, most of the time. I don't really have data to prove that, other than just watching it happen over and over again. You can see again we have the bullish TK cross here below the cloud. So that's the first signal that the bear market's ending, an opportunity to reverse is coming. So overall, that's on the weekly though. I think that's, yeah, so it's singled cloud. This is the daily doubled, basically sideways nonsense. The reason I even wanted to show this is because the cloud is starting to roll over and TK crossed bearish. So if this were to do a cross recross, I think that'd be a really great entry. So what you'd be looking for here is the TK lines to recross bullish, so blue over red, and then the cloud to recross green. So it'll turn red today or tomorrow, and then it may or may not recross, but I think that would be a great entry point at that time. Here is ARDR, singled cloud on the 4-hour. So you can see on some of these I had to go down on a super low time frame. If you look at this chart, it looks pretty funny because it's basically an L just dumping from the IZO. It looks like, I know nothing about it, but he didn't really have a target for this other than 10xing his position. I like this resistance here just based on the wicks up in this zone. You can see everything looks great according to cloud. It's above cloud. Cloud is bullish. TK cross is bullish. So it's got plenty of room for up. He bought it lower, I think down in here, 1180 or something he said. So I think that's a good buy, definitely. Not just because it's going higher, but even at the time, the signals were all bullish. So good buy there. Florian coin, these are some old notes I had on Florian coin. Kind of like Doge, just buy at the historic low, sell at the 50% fib of the craziness. So those are my targets for that personally. Then if we go down to the doubled cloud 4-hour, his target was 9K. And again, all signs are bullish, so that was a good buy as far as the cloud is concerned. And then again, my targets would be like a local high here, and then a 50% fib of this move here. You can see it's already hit resistance at the 50% fib here. So if you think I'm full of crap with all these targets at the 50% fib, watch it play out enough and you'll believe it too. So Florian coin looks good. Vert coin, he had 3 targets, 8, 19.5, and 40. Overall, I think those targets are fine. Doubled cloud on the weekly likes 19.5 the best. It's basically the Kijun. So this is the first sort of resistance at this point here. It's at historic lows, so that's a reason to buy it. I know people have asked me about Vertcoin in the past, so there's plenty of interest, at least people who talk to me anyway. Single cloud, the single cloud really likes this 151 target because it's the 50% fib of this move here. And you can see it's not really looking bottomy on the cloud, but this is kind of like one of the other weekly coins that had like a weaker rollover on the weekly, kind of meaning it was just a so-so buy overall, unless you want to hold it long term. So those are his bags. FLDC, definitely the strongest of them. So thank you for pointing that out, Ambroids, because I went and bought some. So if you want to be featured on a video, just hit me up on Twitter or Telegram with up to 10 alts and your targets. Targets are a must, or else I cannot do a video on them. I get a lot of people asking me for just random charts, and I'm happy to provide that. But for the video, I really want your target, so I can put your name on the chart. Give Ambroids a follow, and as usual, like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter, Telegram. Thanks, and happy trading.